5 things I learned after investing for 12 months in Malaysia and US stock. So I finally understand what makes a good stocks and a bad stocks. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Weng. I test AI investment tool. So I have been investing in Malaysia and US stock for the past 12 months. So far, I have invested 7 Malaysia stock and 5 US stocks and 1 US ETF. So both of my portfolio are positive right now in general, right, in overall, and are making money. So I record my entire AI investing journey and I put up in the link on my bio. So what makes a good stock and what makes a bad stock, right? To explain this, I will use a simple analogy of a cafe, because behind every stock is a real business. Example, Amazon stocks represents Amazon, the business, right? And Tesla stocks represent Tesla, the company that manufacture EV cars. So if a cafe's revenue is not consistently growing, or worse, it keeps losing money every month, you would not invest in it, right? So same with a company. If a company's revenue and profit are declining over multiple quarters, the business is not growing. So if the business does not grow, the stock price has no reason to grow as well. Next, if a cafe owns too much debt and keeps borrowing money just to survive, it means the business is not generating enough profit to sustain itself. So the same applies to companies. If a company is overly dependent on loans, its future becomes uncertain. High debt creates financial pressure, restricts growth, increases risk, and even a small shift in the economy, such as maybe like higher borrowing costs, can put the company in serious trouble. Next, if a cafe sells food that customers don't like, it does not matter how beautiful the interior is or how attractive, how the viral video goes out, people just won't return. So without customer demand, sales will remain low and eventually the cafe will fail, close down, because a business can only survive if people actually want what it offer. So it is exactly the same with companies. Companies may have a nice brand or flashy advertisements, but if the products or service is not something that the market wants, sales will not grow. Without increasing sales, revenue will stuck. And if the business cannot grow, the stock price also has no reason to rise, right? So no demand, no sales, and no sales means no stock growth. Last, if a cafe owner becomes involved in scandal, such as lying to customers, misusing money, or behaving unethically, people will avoid the cafe even if the food tastes great, right? So trust, once broken, is almost impossible to rebuild. So the same thing happens in the stock markets. If a company's management is involved in fraud, misuse of funds, lawsuit, or unethical behavior, investor will instantly lose confidence. When trust disappears, shareholders start selling the stock, causing the share price to crash sometime within hour. Next, here's the truth, right? You don't need to study graph, read complicated financial reports, or be good at maths. I am complete beginner when it comes to investing. I do not come from a finance background and I'm bad at maths, guys. Now with one tap, AI give me data that used to be available only for top analysts. We're living in a very amazing and interesting era. A task that used to take hours, reading reports, analyzing data, comparing companies, is now simplified into easy to understand numbers. The biggest lesson I learned is this: if you trap yourself in an old mindset thinking investing requires reading thick financial reports, you are outdated. The hardest thing is not understand all of these numbers, but to control our doubt, fear, FOMO, which is our own emotions, right? So I get these questions a lot. How high will Nvidia go, right? How high will Amazon go? Can I still buy Tesla now? So nobody can predict the exact top or when. So like the famous phrase, never time the market. So what I learned after 1 year of investing is this: instead of trying to predict the top, focus on whether the business is still growing. Next, if 10,000 feels like a lot of money to you, you may not be ready to invest, right? When losing 10,000 is enough to make you lose your sleep, you get panic, you get so emotional, or feel like your life is falling apart, you won't be able to think rationally. And rational thinking is required for investing. Investing is not a get-rich-fast scheme, and every investment carries risk, right? So most investors do not fail because they choose the bad stocks. They fail because they cannot control their emotions. So that's what I learned after 12 months of investing in Malaysia and also in US stocks. So good stocks come from good business, not hype, right? You don't need to read complicated financial reports or be good at maths. You just need a system, the right tool, and the right mindset, right? So if you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe so you will miss out the next video. And if you want to follow my real investment journey, investing using AI tool or apps, every stock that I buy, every mistake that I make, the link is in the descriptions in my bio. Remember, investing is not about predicting the markets, right? It is about understanding the business. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.